How's it going, guys? It's Paul. I talked to a buddy of mine this morning, and he missed a turkey low. He hit about 6 inches below where he was aiming on this bird, and he was floored. Something must have been wrong. So what happened? Well, he had the decoys right in front of the blind, and instead of the birds coming in and seeing the decoys and hanging up, 20 yards behind the decoys, they rushed right into the decoys. And now these birds were right in front of the blind. So instead of yards, they were only feet away. So what happened was he put his 20-yard pin right on the bird, and he hit low. So I said, well, you should have probably had your 40-yard pin on the bird. And this is how this works. What you have to remember is your sight and your arrow, okay, they start about 6 inches apart. So your arrow is always going to be on an arc. Your line of sight is straight. So the arrow crosses the line of sight and then crosses the line of sight again. When the arrow leaves the bow, did you hear it? That's how long it takes for it to hit the ground. So what factors in is how fast the arrow is moving when it leaves the bow, how far it goes before it hits the ground. So that's going to control how much of an arc you're going to have in that arrow, because you're going to aim higher if it's slower and you're going to aim lower if it's faster, because you'll need less arc. But it's always arc. The arrow's always falling. So when you're setting your sight, your 20-yard pin, you're actually looking for the arrow to cross up through the line of sight and then back down to meet the line of sight again at 20 yards. So with faster bows like we're shooting today, that first cross is probably around 8 or 9 yards, I would say. So you're probably 24, 27 feet, and by 10 yards, you might actually be just slightly high, because now you've crossed the line of sight and you're heading up. Now it starts to arc back down, and it's going to cross again at 20, right? So if you're within that first 9 yards, the closer you get, the lower you're going to hit. Just past, you're going to hit a little bit higher. Just before, you're going to hit a little lower. So on a close shot where you're, 15 feet instead of 15 yards, or you're probably going to use your 40-yard pin. Or if your bow is very fast, it might be your 30-yard pin at that distance. But this is something that you need to get with your target, and go ahead and take some shots and figure it out for yourself. Okay? So I hope this helps you guys. Turkey season just opened in Jersey last Monday. It's going to open here in Pennsylvania this coming Saturday. And if the birds get in your lap, I don't want you to miss. All right? I hope this helps you out.